Good morning. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for taking your time to join us for our virtual open meeting today. My name is Angela Crawford, and I am the Executive Director of Construction Suicide Prevention Week. I sit in Kansas City, but our initiative has gone nationwide in terms of our reach. We provide free resources to people in and around the construction industry to help them start conversations, hold stand down events, and share information with colleagues who may be struggling. Our goal is to put more tools in the hands of people who build our communities. And this webinar and open meeting is one of the resources we're proud to be able to provide. We want today to be interactive, so please feel free to submit questions through the chat or through the Q&A, and we'll answer them either as we go or toward the end if it's a better time then. So later in our program, you will get to meet the rest of our board of directors, our steering committee for the initiative, but I'll be kicking things off for today's discussion. Following me, you'll be hearing from the Construction Suicide Prevention Week Associate Director, Isabelle Wahlert, our 2025 Board Chair, Josh Vitale, and our incoming 2026 Board Chair, Kara McCaffrey. This initiative started in 2019 in response to a high-profile death by suicide on a job site here in Kansas City. I want to give a lot of credit to our area OSHA office and to J.E. Dunn, one of the larger contractors here in the Kansas City area, as well as the builder's safety director that was serving at the time. Those individuals came together and said, we need to put action to this issue. We know there's a problem. It's time to stop talking about it. What can we do about it? So in 2019, that group came together and started making plans. And in 2020, they launched their first activity, which was a webinar that they put on during Suicide Prevention Month to talk about some of the challenges faced in the industry and how people can act. There was a lot of energy and momentum coming out of that webinar. And that's when I got involved. I joined the builders in 2020. And the group really wanted to take this message more broadly. They wanted to take it outside the Kansas City region and they wanted it to reach individuals across the industry. And with my background in marketing and marketing expertise I had, that was a really great time for me to come into this and to leverage that knowledge to take this initiative nationwide. Over the years, we've really been working to find focus and hone in on what we are good at. And that is really being a bridge or a connection between some of the people who've been doing this work for so long, but maybe haven't been able to reach the boots on the ground, the workers who are directly impacted by this as effectively as they want to. And so we serve as a bridge or a catalyst to those with the work that those people are doing. We don't want to reinvent the wheel. We have so much respect for what they are doing. So we've been able to build some great partnerships and relationships with those folks. Our goal is to reach the people on job sites. So that's the space that we've really focused on occupying and are trying to continue to develop resources around that. Our goals each year really focus on how can we get more resources into the hands of these people. And that's what we're going to talk through today. If you have thoughts or ideas about that, if you want to sound off in the chat about where you're from, what kind of company you work for, and perhaps what resources your workers, the people who need these resources might be able to benefit from. Those are all things we want to consider as we go through today's open meeting. A couple other things through our history that I'll point out. 2023 is really when we started focusing on developing our own resources. Up to that point, we kind of provided a library pointing people to resources from other groups. In 2023, we started launching some proprietary resources that have been very popular. You'll see the speaker sourcing guide is the one that is screenshot on this timeline. That's become one of our most popular resources, and we're always looking to add to it. This is a nationwide initiative, so the more speakers we can have on this guide that are, able to be in person in different regions, the better. If you are somebody who is a speaker on mental health or suicide prevention topics, or you know someone who is, please check out that resource. If you're not on there, if the person you know is not on there, reach out to us and let us know. We'll make sure that we get those things updated going into 2026 campaign. In 2024, we formalized a steering committee as the governing body. Our 2026 update, which has not quite been added to this, would note that that's now a board of directors as we are a registered nonprofit in the state of Missouri and pursuing tax exemption status through the IRS currently. So we are taking those steps to be formally recognized as a nonprofit. We also held our first nationwide stand down on September 9th in 2024, which was a really powerful moment of connection across the industry to remember those that have been lost to suicide, as well as to provide community and a sense of support to those who might be struggling. We expanded on that last year by including a pledge that we asked people to take, and we'll be doing that again this year. And those have become really interactive ways for people to engage with this event. If you have not already started thinking about how you will recognize the week this year, those are really easy ways to get involved that you can do as part of your job sites or as part of even your front office activities. One other thing that I'll point out is that in 2025, we were recognized at the Construction Working Minds Summit, now the Construction Mental Health Summit, for the award Mental Health Visionaries. And really proud of that because it just speaks to the work we've done to grow this initiative and really make an impact. And that's our goal, to have an impact. So that's kind of the quick high-level history. Again, if you have any questions, please do drop them in the chat. You'll have a chance to meet the rest of our committee after we finish kind of going through some highlights here. But for now, I'm going to hand it off to Isabelle to talk through the 2025 campaign.
Hi, everyone. Isabelle Wahlert, Suicide Prevention Week Associate Director, also located in Kansas City. I'm excited to go through some of our 2025 campaign updates. Hopefully you've maybe seen some of these numbers around, but I'm excited to recap some of our other year-over-year trends. As you will see here on the right, our 2025 total participation registration was 744 companies registered for the 2025 campaign, representing almost nearly 500,000 workers from those companies. And then on the left, you also see the states that are represented from those companies. So great look on the states. We're only missing a few, but we almost hit them all. Last year we did hit them all, so I know we've reached all of them last year, so hopefully we can get there next year again. But here is the year over year in sponsorships. So you can kind of see from the past years, obviously a increase over every year we've increased, which is great. We're very grateful for our sponsors. They help us do this work and continue to put out new resources every year. So thank you to everyone who were sponsors last year or any year before that. We really appreciate it. It really makes a difference in the work we're able to put out each year. Participation. So here is how you can see over the past few years of participation. Participants have continually increased, as you will see on the left, which is great. You know, the goal is to reach more workers. So the numbers show that we are reaching more workers each year. You will see a tiny bit of a drop from 2024 to 2025 in the companies participated. We do believe that that is not a full accurate number of who did participate, and that there maybe are a lot of people that aren't registering their participation but are participating. So you will hear from Kara here in a little bit about our goals for 2026 and moving forward of how we can really make that an accurate number and make sure everyone is understanding how to participate and getting that logged so that we do have the most accurate numbers moving forward, because we know we reach a lot more people than that, and maybe it's just not logged to where you see it in the numbers. Our digital reach from our website and our social media. Social media took off. It has every year, which is phenomenal. Thank you all for engaging, commenting, reposting. I see it all, and it's phenomenal. So that is great and helps spread the word even more. The website on the left, you will see a drop there as well. We do believe that there are people that have downloaded the resources already. They've seen the website and the large number 2024, as you see, and maybe they aren't going back because they already have those items. We are excited to share, and like I said, Kara will talk a little bit more about this for 2026, that we are doing a little update to our website, making it a little more user-friendly. So we hope in the years to come that that number will look a lot better as we kind of fix up, revamp our website and have some new things on there to show you guys. So we're really excited for that. And then I think that was a very brief overview of the numbers from 2025. Again, like Angela said, if you have any questions, comments, feel free to drop those, and then we'll make sure to cover those for you and get those answered. But other than that, I'm going to pass it to Josh, our 2025 board chair.
Thanks, Isabel. And great job, Angelo. Good morning, everyone. I just wanted to say thank you. Obviously, that's why we're here. We're here to thank everyone for participating, for being part of this movement. I'd like to thank everyone that's on the committee, especially Jeff Gamble, our former chair, who had led the way from the beginning. He's been instrumental in creating the movement that we're seeing now, and it really is heartwarming to look at those numbers and think about, 500,000 people the last 2 years that have participated in really raising awareness around suicide prevention and the just what we're seeing in the industry and have been seeing for quite some time. So it is really heartwarming to know that we're doing something that's helping to at least uncover the what's been hidden for so long. So um, I'm also excited to invite Kara to join the committee as the chair for next year. Miss McCaffrey, she is the a leader in her personal life, in her business ventures, and now for our committee. And I just, if you've seen what she's been up to this year and in previous years for just helping people and getting out there in the community and talking about suicide prevention and mental health awareness and what she's been able to achieve at her own company is really incredible. So I'm excited to move aside and let her lead this charge, and it's a really incredible thing that we're all doing. And I just wanted to take a minute to thank all of our sponsors from last year. They were, without them, right, we could not do what we're doing. We wouldn't be able to reach as many people as we reach. So thank you to all of our presenting sponsors and every other sponsor that has jumped in to help us with this. It costs money to do something like this, and so the more sponsorship we can get, the better. And I think Carol will talk about that. We've opened up another level of sponsorship based on the desire of the folks that are jumping in to help out. I just wanted to leave with one thought, and that, Construction Suicide Prevention Week is an opportunity to really open a door. So I want to challenge everyone to not wait until you've had a tragedy at your company or something that's impacted you personally to do something about this. Take this as a moment to say, you know what? I know there's a problem. Maybe I don't know what to do. And a lot of what the people on this committee are doing is trying to demystify that for you. So use the speaker guide, use the resources that we have available for you. Reach out to us individually, really whatever you need to do, email, call, whatever it is, we are here to help you. I can assure you that everyone that is on this call right now would pick up the phone and walk you through whatever you need to be walked through to get to where you want to go and to save lives. So thank you again, and I'll hand it over to Kara.
All right. Thank you, Josh. Thanks for the welcome and for your continued passion and hype and leading us throughout last year. We really appreciate all that you've done. And thank you to Annie and Izzy and Angela too, the builders. We wouldn't be able to do this without you. Same goes for the rest of the committee. I know Josh already thanked you all too. I'm excited to introduce everyone to the committee later on as well. So, hi everyone. I'll introduce myself really quick. I'm Kara McCaffrey. I am owner and chief wellness officer at my family specialty construction company, Houck, based in Pennsylvania. I care so much about suicide and mental health because I lost my brother Gary to suicide in 2005, and I just feel honored to do this work in honor of him, and I'm really thrilled to be the incoming chair for 2026 for CSPW. I mostly feel thankful just to work alongside Josh and others in the group who all care so passionately and deeply about this topic. So let's talk about 2026. Looking ahead to 2026, I'm so excited. I'm excited to continue on the momentum, to work on the goals that you see here that I'm about to share with you, and really just to continue to get this message and these resources out to more and more people in the industry so everyone knows that it's okay to reach out for help. So here are our goals for 2026, the three main areas of focus that we have for this year. We are really proud of the growth that we've had. You saw the numbers from Izzy and Angela too, talking about our history. So we have grown so much, but we know that there are still more people that we need to reach. There's over 8 million people working in the construction industry. So we've touched, over 500, around 1,000 of people. And Josh had made a stretch goal for us last year that will continue on this year, that we want to reach 1 million workers, 1 million people that we want to reach in 2026 and beyond. But there's still, over 8 million. So we have so many more people to reach to get this message out there. And so we really want to think about growing our audience. How can we work more directly with the people working, not just out in the field, but in the office too? It's everyone in the construction industry that's at risk, really. So how can we work more directly, though, with people out there working? How can we work with tangential vendors and subcontractors and insurers and different people that are in the construction industry but have reach in the construction industry? How do we reach new audiences and get people to know about our message and our initiative? So we want to continue to grow. We want to also better track our registration numbers. Izzy mentioned this earlier too. So we know that more people are participating in the initiative, and that's great. We want more and more people to do it. The reason why we want to track the numbers is so we know how many people we are actually impacting and that we are actually reaching. So if you have ideas on how we can better entice people to follow through with that registration, it's a really simple form. But how can we do that? If you have ideas on this, or if you're thinking, well, I want to register, but I just don't want to take the time to do it, or what do I get out of it? Like, if you have feedback being on that other side, please let us know, chime that in the chat, or let us know later. We really do want to know that. We want to be able to know how many people we're reaching, and encourage those who haven't registered to do so, so we know. We want to post more consistently on social media, have a more of a presence through social media and presentations and speaking engagements as well, to make sure that we're sharing this message and being there in the industry. I'm working alongside others to do that. So really, first goal, expanding our reach and making sure that we're continuing to impact more and more people in the construction industry. The next goal is to offer more resources. That's something that Angela talked about, and Josh too, some of our most common resources. We want to offer and promote more free tools just to make it easier and easier for construction companies to participate in this. And we don't want to duplicate things. There's so many other great groups in the industry doing this work, but how can we work together and make sure that we're offering more things? Some things that we have on the horizon: one is a resource index to promote our tools, but also the other great tools that I mentioned that other organizations have. How can we make it easier again to access for people? More toolbox talks. We released 3 new ones last year in 2025, and we'll release more toolbox talks both in English and in Spanish in 2026. Toolbox talks are a great way to make it easy for companies to incorporate talking about mental health into their safety programs, and then also webinars too. And some more exciting things to come too. So we're excited about getting more resources out there. And part of that will be also through our website refresh, which Izzy mentioned. We're excited about that, getting more people driven to our website, but just when people go to our website, making it easier for them to find the information that they need, and not just our information, but others' information as well. So we're excited about that. That's coming. And hopefully when you see it, you'll promote it to other people and use it more yourself. And then lastly, in 2026, we want to make sure that we're strengthening and deepening our relationships with others, primarily those other folks in the industry, those groups that are doing great work too, to work together in the industry, but also with our sponsors. So if you're a past sponsor or a sponsor that you're considering sponsoring, we want to make sure that we have a good relationship with you too. And if you have ideas on what you would find valuable in that relationship, please, again, let us know. We want to just continue to add value through that collaboration and different feedback sessions as part of trying this open meeting. So we're really excited about expanding our reach, offering more resources, and deepening those relationships as we look ahead in 2026. If we move on to 2026 sponsorships, so I know Josh already mentioned the 2025 sponsors, and I also wanted to personally thank everyone who sponsored in 2025. He mentioned this already, but being a sponsor just allows us to continue on expanding our message and expanding the resources that we give to the industry. So we really do appreciate the sponsorships that we've had so far. Due to demand, we have introduced a new level for 2026 sponsorships. So we have a capstone option now at $10,000, and then the other one similar to last year. So if you're considering 2026 sponsorships, please let other people know. The more we raise, the more we can give out to the industry. And so please consider this when you think about your budgeting for 2026. And if you feel like any of these are too much and you want to still support us, but you can't quite do those levels, we do have an ally option. So for anything below 1,000, you can also contribute to us too, and really anything is helpful. If you have questions about sponsorships, want to know what you get from them or what it entails, or just want to learn a little bit more, you can reach out to Izzy. Her email address is listed there, and she can give you additional details on those sponsorships. We're all looking forward to hopefully becoming tax deductible through IRS soon. So we're not quite there yet, like Angela mentioned, but we're working towards that. And I think that will make it easier too, which is something I'm looking forward to in 2026, just to make it easier for companies to help contribute if we can get that tax deductible status. So that is coming up. So please consider this for 2026. And then next, I want to remind everyone and share our future CSPW dates. So Construction Suicide Prevention Week, it is an initiative that we want to be doing year round. This isn't just a 1 week a thing that we want people to care about, but having that week really allows us to combine efforts and combine voices and be that entry point into that week for people to do this then year round. So coming up, we have September 14th to the 18th for 2026, but we have the next few years set too. So after this webinar, I hope that you go through and put these on your calendar so you know when they are and start planning for them now. Again, year round, we want people to go to our website, use our toolbox talks, use our resources, look at that speaker sourcing guide, see if you can have someone come and talk about mental health in May for Mental Health Awareness Month, October for Mental Illness Awareness Month. Like there's things throughout the year that you can do, but these are the special weeks for Construction Suicide Prevention Week we want you to hold and participate in. All right. So again, I am so thankful to be a part of this group helping the industry. I'm excited to lead it this year. I am looking forward to where the initiative is going to continue to go, and most importantly, and hopefully saving lives in the industry together. What I would love to do now is move on to open forum time and question time for everyone. Like said before, we want this to be interactive. What I'd love for everyone to do, all the panelists, all the committee members, if you could go ahead and turn on your cameras now so we can see everyone.
And then, Kara, before we do the introductions, if you don't mind, I'd like to just address the
Yeah.
questions that came through. We did have a couple. So the first one was how to get your company involved. And I would first direct you to the website, which you'll see on the background of everybody on the board. We've got the website. The site, sorry, the website up there. So it's constructionsuicideprevention.com, and that's got the toolkit for how to get started and how to participate. And then Josh, thank you so much. Yeah, no, sorry, Kara, I just wanted to kind of do this as we go. But the link that Josh posted was for the exact page to get you started on that. Host a stand down, have your employees take the pledge, provide toolbox talks. We've got resources for all that on the website. And then the tax deduction status, we don't have an ETA because it's the government. And so it's very much dependent on their timeline and not ours. We've been told it takes a long time. So we are waiting patiently, but we've got everything filed. We are good with the state of Missouri, so it's just that federal level that we're waiting on. So that's the answer to those two questions. But yes, please, Kara, I turn it back to you to do
Okay, sounds good.
introductions of the.
Yeah, and if other questions come in, feel free to chime in. We can answer them, and we'll get to questions more too in a moment if folks put it into the chat. Okay, so thanks, Angela, for going through that. And I hope we have tax deductible status soon, but yeah, it's not in our hands right now. So, all right, so committee members, it looks like all of your cameras are on. And what I'd love to do is have each of you just share a quick introduction of yourself. So Josh and I got a chance to talk, but we have so many people in the committee who are doing such important work that allow us to continue on this mission. And I'll kind of go through and just do it alphabetical so I don't miss anyone as we go through. But I just want to take time to thank the committee members. They do so many things. They spread our reach through media and working with news outlets. They help with webinars. They help gain sponsorships. They help create new materials like the toolbox talks that I mentioned. We created 3 ones last year. The folks in this group actually write those toolbox talks. We have folks who review the content. So they really take so much of their time, their passion, their effort, and they volunteer to do this, and we couldn't do it without them. So thank you, committee members. I'll just have you introduce yourself and say your name, your company, and your location. Angela mentioned this started in Kansas City, but we have grown more. So it's just interesting to know where folks are from. So Braden, I think you're first in the alphabet if you want to introduce yourself.
Yeah, thank you, Kara. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Angela. My name is Braden Beal. I sit in Kansas City, Kansas, and I work for IMA Financial Group. We are an insurance and risk management dedicated to the construction industry.
Thanks, Braden. And how about Chris?
Hi, I'm Chris Lalevy. I'm with the International Union of Operating Engineers, and I am in New Jersey.
Thanks, Chris. And next is Jeff. And I know Josh already thanked you, but thanks, Jeff. You are our first inaugural chair of the group. So, Jeff, can you introduce yourself?
Absolutely, and thank you. I appreciate that. My name's Jeff Gamble. I am located in Kansas City, and I was one of the first folks that got involved in this. I am with Clarkson Construction, and also we've got another spinoff company called Global Earthwork and Underground. So very busy, but I did want to add, it's just fantastic to watch this grow with the amount that it's been growing. It's amazing. So thanks to Josh. I know everybody's doing a fantastic job, so appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff, and you're part of that growth. So thank you. All right, next up, Joe.
Hi, everybody. I'm Joe Tiernan. I'm with Holmes Murphy, and I'm out of Kansas City. Grateful to be here and for the group.
Thanks, Joe. Josh, you're next alphabetically. I think you kind of already introduced yourself, but is there anything else you want to give as part of an introduction for yourself?
Sorry, I couldn't find my mute button. No, I guess just that I'm in Queen Creek, Arizona, and if you're in the Western United States, let's get going, man. The East has got us beat. We gotta do some catch up. I know there's a lot of folks out in California that are helping out, but man, Arizona, Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, there's a lot of construction work out here. We got a lot of lives to save.
Thanks, Josh. All right, Karina, I think you're on. Can you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Karina Lorick. I'm the area director of the Kansas City area OSHA office.
Thanks, Karina. And then Carrie.
Hi, I'm Carrie English. I work for the Home Builders Association of Greater Kansas City, so located in Kansas City.
Thanks, Carrie. And then Kimberly.
Thank you, everyone. My name is Kimberly Robinson. I'm an assistant area director for the Kansas City OSHA office.
Thanks, Kimberly. We appreciate the partnership with OSHA. And then Mark.
Good afternoon. My name is Mark Dyke. I am in Grand Rapids, Michigan, the great white state of snow right now. I have two roles. I'm a university professor at Ferris State University. Yes, the defending national champions for D2 football 4 out of the last 5 years. And also, I am a therapist, 30 years in the construction industry. I am a professional counselor in the state of Michigan with Collaborative Counseling Group, a group that I own and run that does consulting, and really glad to be part of this movement. You all are doing great work, and thank you everyone for joining us today.
Thanks, Mark. All right, Matt, you're next.
Hi guys, Matt Dierking. I am with J. Dunn Construction based in Kansas City, out on the project. And I just want to say I've been with it for a little bit, but I'm glad to see this grow and do the things we're doing. And it's real. It happens a lot. The questions and the comments. So just glad to see it grow the way it is, and glad to be a part of it. So thank you.
Thanks, Matt. We're happy you're a part of it. And thanks to J.E. Dunn for being a part of it from the beginning. And then Molly.
Hi, everybody. Molly Cape. I'm Marketing Communications Manager for a company called MTech Mechanical. We're a 650-person team in Colorado, subcontractor. We have unfortunately encountered 3 losses at MTech over the last 7 years, I think we are now. And I also chair an annual event to raise money for suicide prevention and mental health. And in 2025, we reached $500,000 supporting those local charities. So really happy to be involved and continue that into the future. This was my first year on the committee and really excited what we were able to accomplish and do in the future.
Thanks, Molly. Yeah, we're so happy to have you. You've been a great addition to the group. And then Nazia.
Thank you, Kara. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Nazia. I'm with AGC of America out of Arlington, Virginia.
Thanks, Nazia. And then Patrick.
Yeah, my name is Patrick Bainbridge, and I work for the Kansas City VA Medical Center, obviously here in Kansas City, Missouri. I'm a community engagement and partnership coordinator that focuses on working with local communities to support veterans within those communities. So very happy to be a part of this group, supporting not just the industry, but certainly the veterans within the industry as well.
Thanks, Patrick. Phyllis, I believe you're on. Can you introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. I'm Phyllis Blackwelder. I'm the Missouri Area Director for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. I've been in this space 13 years, coming up on February 15th after I lost my son and became an employee of the AFSP in 2019.
Thanks, Phyllis. Love your cat, by the way. Scott, next.
Hi, my name's Scott Kolash. I work for Tria Health. We are based out of Kansas City, and I am a clinical pharmacist for them.
Thanks, Scott. And last but not least, Tom.
Happy New Year, everyone. My name is Tom Ruzick. I'm the Director of Safety at Delta Innovative Services and DB2. And I just want to start by saying thank you to all of the attendees. I'm based here in Kansas City, and I've been with the group since inception, and very happy to be a part of it and very proud of the work that we've accomplished, and super excited for 2026 because I foresee that we're going to do really great things. So thank you to everyone on the board, and I'll turn it back over to you, Kara.
Thanks, Tom, and thanks for being with us since the beginning. I got introduced to you shortly through my entry into construction, and I just love your passion. And I'm so appreciative of everyone on the committee. I love how we have different people from different regions, but also different avenues of work, whether it be safety like Tom or clinical experience, and lots of folks in the construction industry. It's so great that we have different views and different people working together to help those in the construction industry. So thanks to the committee for introducing yourself. And I'd also like just to give you a moment if there's anything else that anyone would like to share about either how you got into this work, or the things that you're excited about for 2026, or anything that maybe Josh or I forgot to say that you wanted to add on about the work that we do. Any ideas, anything that you want to share with the rest of the group, please unmute yourself, and this is your moment to chime in. Anything else that you'd like to share? No pressure, but want to give you a chance to chime in if you want.
I will chime in with the American Foundations for Suicide Prevention's Talk Saves Lives with the Construction Industry, which was created with the help of totally a grant we received. And it's rolled out now, and we have trained presenter all over the state, all over the US, in all the different chapters that we have. So if you're in a different state, just reach out to your chapter in your local area, and they can help provide those trainings, and they're free of charge. Plus, we have all kinds of other resources too.
Thanks, Phyllis. And we'll be sure, as we do our website resource index and refresh, we'll be linking to that for sure. Anyone else have anything that they'd like to contribute or add on to the meeting from the committee?
I'd like to just underscore the importance of the toolbox talks, which keeps the conversation going all year long, whether it be mental health, suicide. There's information on 988 there. There's a lot that you can bring to light within your workforce. So it doesn't have to be 1 month a year, as Kara and everybody else had said. So there's a lot you could do, and talking about it more normalizes it.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah, I really agree. I think it's so important to incorporate this into normal safety talks. When we think about keeping people physically safe, let's think about their mental health too. And you're already doing toolbox talks. So throughout the year, can you incorporate some of the ones that we have just to normalize that conversation and to remind people what resources are there if they need to reach out for help? We at CSPW have, I think, over 12 different toolbox talks. And like I said, we're continuing to build more. So if you look at our list on our website, and you think that we're missing a topic or think that a topic would be good to add, let us know that too. We're always looking for suggestions for content that would be helpful out in the field to do toolbox talks. But thanks, Chris, for adding that on. Anyone else in the committee want to chime in?
I'll go if we're looking to fill airspace. So, you know, the reason that I came to CSPW was I was on a job and we had a lot of people working and a lot of people that were in crisis, and I became the default responder for people that were in crisis. And so I participated in about 24 suicide interventions. And every one of those interventions, it didn't take a therapist to do that. It didn't take somebody that had any training. I didn't start doing the QPR trainings and the Vital Cog trainings, and I didn't start doing that stuff until after I had participated in a couple. What people need is someone to sit down with them and to let them know that we see them and that we hear them and that we're here for them and that we're going to make sure that they get what they need. So anyone can do this work. It doesn't take training. The training certainly helps because it's one of the most terrifying situations you can find yourself in, feeling responsible for someone that's in crisis. But all it takes is a listening ear and an open heart, really, to get somebody across that bridge and realize that there's an anchor here in this life that's it's still something to live for, that we care about them and that we see them and that we want them to stick around.
Thanks, Josh. I think it's so important to make sure people that they feel cared about, you're right, and that there is hope, and we just want to be a part of that. And you don't have to be a mental health therapist or physician to help people. Karina, I think I see your hand up. If you want to chime in or ask a question, and then I'll transition to audience time to see too. Okay, yeah, Karina, and then we can do
Yeah.
Nazia.
Just want to say I'm so excited to see how much this has grown from the start from inside my conference room, how this started to where it is today. So very, very excited. And if you've ever done one of these stand downs or have discussions with any employees, don't get discouraged and don't think that they're not listening to you just because they don't say something. Stand downs have saved lives, and I know of several that are directly, people are alive because of these stand downs. So thank you guys so very much for everything you guys do. So
Thanks, Karina. Nazia, I see your hand. Do you want to share?
Yes, definitely. Thank you, Kara. And I'm sorry, I might have missed this if we covered it, so my apologies. I have had a little bit of connectivity issues, but
That's fine.
did we touch on how folks might get involved? I know we just wrapped up our call for volunteers and we're going through that, but did we want to mention that for future?
Yeah, so that is, I don't think we mentioned that specifically, that if you do want to be even more involved and be a part of our board of directors, each year we do open up any slots that we have available to the public. So you can always look out for that. If you're on our email group list, you'll get an email blast from Izzy about it, or you can find the information on our website. So if you're interested in being a part of this great committee that you just heard from everyone and being a part of that, driving the initiative, that's an option for you to get involved in. So watch out for that. That would be, for next year. And then the other thing is that companies can do, and we touched on some of this. We talked about the toolbox talks. We talked about the webinars. We talked about, Karina just mentioned about that stand down we have, and that was Chris's great idea. We started that last year, I think it was, or in 2024, to have that National Moment of Silence stand down on the Monday of Construction Suicide Prevention Week, where everyone in the country at one specific time comes together and honors those that were lost and make that commitment moving forward. That's a great opportunity. You can have other stand downs throughout the year. You can bring people in using the speaking sourcing guide that we have to talk about this topic. There's different ways that you can get involved throughout the year, not just in the week itself. And with our website refresh, hopefully it will be easier to find what those resources are that you can use throughout the year, which we're excited for. So that's just a little bit more about that. Are there any other questions? Committee members, feel free if you want to chime in anymore, you're welcome to. But with the remaining 15 or so minutes that we have, it'd be great to see if there are any additional questions or ideas or suggestions from those of you who joined our open meeting today. And thank you to those who joined. Feel free to put those into the Q&A. We're looking at that. Put that into the chat. I'm going to just check it out and see if any questions came in, and if others from the committee want to chime in anything else, feel free to do that while we see what questions come in from the audience.
We did have a question about the supply store.
Oh, I just saw that, yeah.
Yeah, and I know Izzy did answer it in the chat, but Izzy, do you want to address it as well to the full group as part of the reporting?
Yes, so our supply store is actually open year round, and I can drop the link. It's on our website, but I'll drop the link specifically to the store as well. But you can always get wristbands, hard hat stickers, t-shirts, anything that doesn't have the year on it, obviously, because that will change each year. But it will be updated soon. We've talked about adding a few new items as well as our banners that will be uploaded in our pledge banner. So my main thing is probably just make sure you're subscribed to our emails, which you can also do on the website. And I dropped that link in that chat as well, so that you do get notified when some of those things come out so that you know to go back and look. But it is open year round. If you're wanting something like right now, you can definitely go on there and order that whenever. But we will have new items, so I want to make sure that you all get notified when those do come out, so that you can order those as well.
And this is a good reminder to those on the audience. If you have a great idea on something that we should offer that people would really like to give to their employees, let us know that too. Because for those new items, we're always looking for ideas of things that we can add to the supply store. And that is one area, that's the only really at cost thing that CSPW has. Everything else is free, but we do have that supply store that you can purchase things. I think I see Mark's hand raised. Do you have anything to add in or add, Mark?
Yeah, I'll echo what Josh said earlier. You know, I am a therapist, but you don't need to be a therapist to work in this space. And so one of the things that I like to challenge people is, I know we're getting near the end of this, whenever I do a talk or a class or a lecture or even personal counseling sessions, is there's a lot of people on this webinar today. Board members, attendees, and I would say this, your homework assignment, if I may, being a professor, think of one person this week, that you can reach out to. That's how this changes. That's how the numbers start to come down, by doing one simple act of checking in with somebody, seeing how they're doing. Think of someone you know that maybe struggled or have struggled, and check in with them, see how they're doing. I did this just last night with someone, and I was just amazed at, they opened up through text and just started sharing stuff that I didn't see coming, right? And it was just simple act of reaching out, right? Doing what Josh had said, right? Let's just be good people and take care of one another. That, to be a good listening ear, like he had said, absolutely makes a difference. So it doesn't take a lot of effort to care, but we've got all kinds of resources for everybody. We're a resource for everybody. So your homework assignment is that. Think of one person, reach out to them this week, and check on them and see how they're doing.
I love that, Mark. Thanks for adding. And I think that just reminds me of the connection piece for our pledge that we tried out this year too, for Construction Suicide Prevention Week. That's a year-round thing that you should do, but I love the homework assignment, especially being a professor. Thanks for that. But that's something good for all of us to do. And maybe that's an initiative that you can try at your company this year, try to encourage people to reach out to one of their coworkers and check in, or a family member or a friend. It means so much. It's such a little action, but it means so much to people. Oh, we got an idea in the chat about something in the supply store. That's a great idea. I've seen some of those sweatshirts, like when you read it behind, like from behind, it's like an encouraging message. I like that. There was a question that came in that asked if this was going to be recorded, and just to make sure, yes, we'll record this and send this out. So if you missed it, or if you want to share this with others, maybe you were here today and you thought, hey, I know someone at a different company or another person at my company that should listen to this and learn more about the initiative, feel free to share it on.
Kara, all of our webinars and this meeting as well are available on our YouTube channel. So that, that's a great spot. There's some really good informative things, like, if you got a half hour, 45 minutes and you want to learn some more, that's a great place to go.
We just did a webinar this past year on peer support. That was a great one to learn about. And we did a webinar on incorporating this more into your culture from a marketing perspective and HR and safety, like how can everyone play a part into it? So yeah, check out those past webinars too to learn more. Thanks, Josh, for that reminder. Was there someone else who was going to chime in?
Yeah, if I may, in that webinar that you were just talking about, one of the resources that I brought up and I'd like to bring to everyone's attention, in 2025, it was my first year for Delta and DB2 having an EAP. If you're not familiar, it's called an Employee Assistance Program. I was amazed at how responsive that our employees were to it. And of course, I've pushed it really hard, but we've got over 30% participation. Employees really appreciate the program. It's a benefit for new hires coming in, something that we're able to promote. And in relation to suicide prevention, it's a huge resource because employees can confidentially, for free, paid for through the company, get help. So I just wanted to bring up that resource as well. And if you don't have it, please get in touch with Izzy, and I'd be happy to share the information I have and costs and all of that kind of thing.
That's great, Tom. Thank you so much. Yeah, we did touch on that a little bit in that webinar. I think employee assistance programs are one of the great benefits that you can provide your company. So if you're not having an EAP, and that's also one of our ideas for a toolbox talk coming up in 2026. So we're working on that to have a toolbox talk to promote EAPs as well.
So we had a question come in about how to get people to participate at 30%. You know, one of the things that that I've seen that really help drive that engagement with your resources that you have available already at your company is having leaders model the usage of them. So if people that are leading teams are saying, hey, you know, my son was sick and I was struggling and I reached out to the EAP and got some free appointments or whatever, just, you know, normalizing like we were saying earlier, the more that you can normalize the conversation and the usage of the tools that you have to get mental health resources, the more people will utilize it. That would be my ad.
Yeah, for sure. And I think promoting it as often as you can in different ways to hit different people at different times. We had an EAP at my family company, but no one really used it until we started telling people about it and talking about it, incorporating into my emails, into newsletters, into posters. You know, I've heard of someone put little wallet cards in bathrooms so people can take it, you know, in a way that's private, but just getting the information out there so people even know it's a resource and sharing, you know, what people have used it for. And sharing testimonials. Those are great. Anything else, Tom, that you wanted to add about engagement to EAP that you found since you had brought that up for Delta?
Yeah, and I'm putting this in the chat right now, but I compare it oftentimes to NFL tickets that don't get used. You know, if you don't want to take advantage of that, why? Because the tickets just sit there. It's better than free. It's already paid for by the company. So might as well take advantage of it and get the free resources that you need the help on.
And the EAP is great for not just mental health related things, but if someone has lost someone, you know that they've lost their parent or they've lost a loved one and they're going through grief, you can remind them about the EAP. If they're having legal issues or financial things, the EAP can be used for so many things that cause stress in our life that can impact our mental health. And so it's really good just to talk about it and normalize it and remind people that it is a free thing. Yeah, there's some great tips in the chat. Thanks, Tom, for adding that. Any other questions from folks on the line or suggestions or ideas for us to continue to improve Construction Suicide Prevention Week in the year to come?
And we don't want to put people on the spot now either. If you want to kind of take the information you heard, you know, and you're not ready to spitball some ideas with us at this moment, but you want to chew on it, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. We have on the website, which I know we've linked a few times in the chat, and we'll send in a follow-up email as well. All of our staff emails are on there. Feel free to reach out there. We have a contact form. We're happy to put you in touch with committee members as well. But, you know, no pressure right now, but definitely give us the feedback because this is about the industry. This is led from the industry, and we're not effective unless we're doing what the industry needs. So that comes from you all.
Well said, Angela. Okay, I'm not seeing any more questions or ideas come in, but like Angela said, if you have additional things, please reach out to us later. We're so appreciative that you took the time to come to this. This is our first time doing an open meeting with others, so it's exciting for us to hear from all of you that we haven't met before. So thank you again to our committee. Thank you to Josh for last year and the builders. I'll turn it over to you, Angela, if you want to close out the open meeting.
Yes, I will. And I'll give a heads up too that for all of the board members, committee members, that once I close this out, this will end very abruptly. So that's what's supposed to happen, but just so that you're all prepared for that. Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate everyone chiming in with your ideas, for joining, just listening to what we had to say. Please do be in touch with us. We will send out a recording of the presentation today to everyone who registered. We encourage you to share it. We have a very strong feeling about not gatekeeping this information. So share it out, visit our YouTube page for a replay, and visit our website, constructionsuicideprevention.com, to find resources, save the dates, and more information about how to get involved. Thank you all for being here. Have a great day. Happy New Year.